Welcome back to the First and 10 podcast. I'm your host, Brianna McDonald, and I'm joined by 49ers team reporter, Lindsay Polares. And this is a Move the Chains breaking news episode. Faithful, it's the day you have been waiting for. It's finally official. Defensive lineman Nick Bosa has re-signed a 5-year contract extension with the team. Before we get into the team's reactions, Lindsay, what was your initial reaction to the news?
I felt like it was eventually going to fall into place. I know that some people were anxious, on the edge of their seats. Everybody take a deep breath. It is official. Nick Bosa is here for the next 5 years in the Bay Area. Certainly the outcome that I know the faithful were very excited to hear about. And it's a pretty busy day at Levi Stadium now.
The 49ers leadership did reassure us. Both head coach Kyle Shanahan and general manager John Lynch said, hey, he's not going anywhere. So it wasn't a matter of if he was going to re-sign with the team, it was just a matter of when. And it's officially official now. He is the highest paid defensive player in history. So take us back to when the news first broke. It landed right when Kyle had his press conference.
Let's talk about the press conference, because I was sitting with the rest of our wonderful media members, and you start seeing the texts and the tweets or the X's, I don't know what they're called anymore, but you start seeing them roll in. And just a few minutes later is when head coach Kyle Shanahan walked into the press conference room. And I think for everybody, it was just kind of a sigh of relief, right? So this is something that was highly anticipated on all sides. And what he did share with us is that he learned of the news as he was getting ready to walk into that press conference. So he knew that everything he had prepared for up to that point really didn't matter, because the focus was going to be Nick Bosa.
So the media is learning the news at the same time Kyle is. What were some of the topics of discussion during this time, and what more did you guys learn?
Yes, so I think naturally you want to know right away, how many snaps is he going to play? When is he going to get here? All Nick Bosa centric, right? So I've got some short answers from what we know up to that point. The snaps in the game at this point are undetermined. I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. For head coach Kyle Shanahan, it was about waiting and seeing what kind of condition that Nick was going to arrive at the facility in, and there was no shadow of doubt in his mind. Nick Bosa was going to be, in the best shape as we all know him to be. So not a concern, but you have to wait and actually see to determine that. And also, the 49ers plan is always to be smart with their players. It's no different when it comes to Nick Bosa. It's going to depend how he looks in those 2.5 practices of this week. And then, we talk about up to 5-year contract extensions. So Nick's going to be here for a minute. That's what everyone wanted. So as far as we know, those are the details we've got available.
Well, while you were holding it down in the press conference room, I was outside of the 49ers locker room getting ready to talk to some of the guys for some content coming to 49ers.com. And again, it was the same time they were learning about the news. So I got to see their initial reactions, and all I have to say was energy was on another level. The guys were cheering. Everyone had the biggest smiles. Excitement took over the room, and they were just so happy for their teammate. I know you asked the players about Nick, so what did they give you?
Yeah, so I actually was going around the locker room just asking for initial reactions, and I got sheesh, and I got, dollar signs. I got the Nick Bosa sack celebration, the shrugging the shoulders. Exactly what you said, guys. We're just excited. Everyone knows Nick Bosa is deserving of the contract extension. So really, it was just congratulating Nick, and they all can't wait to see him because it's been a minute since Nick has been in the facility.
Just with the news breaking, the team had a new level of energy. So how does Nick Bosa's presence and his performance impact the team?
Yeah, Nick Bosa is an all-timer, right? So he has next level competitive energy. He's a physical player. He's a smart player. And it's a little bit of all of that, right? When you get that type of player in a locker room, it just elevates everyone around him. We got to talk to a few of the guys on the D-line. Specifically, they're over the moon. So they're excited to finally be lining up with him and getting the snaps in, because the countdown to Pittsburgh is on.
Here's head coach Kyle Shanahan on Nick Bosa rejoining the team.
We all knew Nick was going to get rewarded like he did. I don't know the exact details of it, but I knew it would be like that eventually. Our organization did, and I think Nick did, and I'm just glad we got it worked out on everyone's side because we love Nick. I think he loves being here, and he's definitely earned this, and he's going to earn it going forward too.
All right, that will do it for today. Make sure you tune in on Friday for a full breakdown First and 10 episode. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And thank you, Faithful, for tuning in.